look, man, if you're anything like me, then far too often at times we dwell too much on our losses and forget about hyper analyzing our wins. And when it comes to becoming successful in any endeavor, in any pursuits, you need to focus more of your time and energy on the things that help get you numbers on the board, help you get some wins, help you get some dubs. Instead of focusing so much of that time, energy, and effort on just dwelling about what you did wrong, all the mistakes, this and that. Because yes, mistakes can teach you lessons, but if you focus too much on them, you're gonna be into the point where you're gonna doubt yourself so much to the point where you're not gonna have the confidence or the capability in yourself, the belief in yourself to go out there and go make more moves to keep putting up more numbers on the board. So, like I said, if you're anything like me, we can overthink too much sometimes. And when something goes wrong, we just go into fucking FBI, Sherlock Holmes investigation mode to the point where we get so caught up in the small, minute details of our losses that we just brush off everything that's worked before. Instead, flip the script on that bitch. Come on, bro. Flip the script on that bitch. Use all that time, energy, and effort to go FBI, fucking CIA, Sherlock Holmes mode on your wins, on the things that helped you achieve whatever it is that you're trying to pursue and help you try to get to the next level. Because when you look at the small details of that, you can just copy and paste. Copy and paste still don't work. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I mean? Like, if X, Y, and Z help you get to the point that you're looking for, don't try looking at, oh, what can I do next? What can I do? Just copy and paste that. And if it don't work, then overanalyze it again, the little details that help you still get to that point, and then you'll filter out to all the junk basically to the point where you get the formula that you can just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And of course, you're going to evolve it over time because you're going to get more information, new experiences, this and that to help you expand it. But for right now, on the base level, you need a foundation. You need a foundation of what you know works. And if you actually analyze your wins, you'll understand that better. But if you just keep dwelling on your losses to the point where it's not even helping you get to the next level in life, helping you get more insights, you're just out here punching yourself in the face, hitting your head on the wall over and over again, then you kind of just bullshitting around, bro. You might be thinking, man, I'm so hard on myself. Like, I'm just gonna keep myself to a really high standard, which is great. I do that to a great extent, and I hope you guys do that too. Obviously, that you watch this channel, this and that, like, I'm pretty sure you do. But like I said, you can get caught up in that to such a bad extent to where you kind of freeze up, you lock up, and you just kind of crush your self-esteem. You're kind of self-sabotaging yourself. And humans tend to do that. Like, let me give a good example. When you're in a group setting, and they're all taking pictures. When the person who has a camera, who has a phone, comes to you guys and they just pass around the phone to look at the picture, you go straight to yourself. You go straight to yourself. Don't fucking lie to me, bro. You go straight to yourself and you kind of say, hey man, like, am I looking good? Am I looking bad? And then if you do look bad in your fucking perspective, then you hyper analyze to the point where, oh man, what was my drip not fresh enough? Was my cut not fresh enough? Was my fucking lineup not fresh enough? This and that. Like, you just overanalyze to the point where you're like, bro, let's look at the bigger picture. You look great with all your fucking friends. Like, that's a dub. That's a win. You're with all your homies. You look good. You're having a good time. Like, just chill the fuck out. Like, stop doing that thing when it comes to your career, your goals, this and that. Like, you just go, all right, boot, like, zoom into, all right, I fucked up here, there. Like, it's good to just go through it in a detached state. That's very important. A detached state will help you analyze your losses to the point where you're not so attached to where your self-esteem just drops to the floor and you just can't pick yourself back up. But it'll also help you analyze your wins to the point where you're detached enough to the point where your ego doesn't boost. You don't fucking think you're the shit. You don't think you got it all figured out. That is key. That is key to everything in life, being a little bit detached, because you're not the mind, you are not the body, you are the soul. But let's not get too spiritual with that shit. You are the perspective, the consciousness that's watching all these things. So learn how to be your biggest fan and biggest critic at the same time. But don't ever get too attached to them. Stay in the middle. Stay in the middle. Don't be polarized too much to the point where you kind of just tip the scale over one way or the other. But coming back to what I said, whatever your career is, whatever your goals are, whatever your drives and ambitions are, you have minuscule wins regardless if you think that they're big wins or they're not. You've made some progress along the way. And if you haven't, either you haven't done it for long enough, or you are just completely bullshitting yourself and you're just living in a delusional state of mind where you think that you're doing this, but you're actually just sitting at home doing nothing. But when you see those mini victories that build up over time, they're like bricks. You're just laying them down, laying them down, laying them down, laying them down till you build up a whole castle. You need to understand what were the things, what was like the state of mind you were in, the emotion you were feeling, the routine that you had that got you to that point. If I make a banger video on my main channel, I'm gonna hyper analyze what were the steps I took? How did I script it this way? What did I do with the thumbnail? How did I title it? This and that. Same thing applies to you and whatever it is that you're trying to pursue. If it's you're trying to market a product online to sell for your business and it does well, what are you gonna look at? You're gonna look at, okay, what was the marketing campaign I did? What was the pictures I used for the product? What were the keyword search terms that I used to help funnel the traffic to this specific thing? You're gonna do all that, man. That's just giving you a good example that maybe you guys are going through right now. But when you take those wins, you can filter out those things and keep them as part of your foundation, so you can go back to them over and over. Like a basketball player. They know their bread and butter. They know their go-to moves. Yes, they have other counter moves to go against that. If someone else is blocking that move, someone is reading that play they're about to run. But at the end of the day, the main goal is to get to the bread and butter. You know what works. Why go against it? Make somebody else have to stop it. Make the universe have to stop you, or make you have to expand. Keep working, keep adding things to the bag, of course. But if you know your left to right crossover to your pull-up jump shot works and the person can't guard you, run that every play down the court till the motherfucker has to make you stop. And if you do, you already have a counter ready to go. But if you had a bad game, you realize, oh man, I did this bad, that bad, and then your confidence starts going down, you're gonna come to the point where you forget about your left to right crossover to your pull-up jump shot. Your confidence is gonna go so down to the point where you're just like, damn bro, I can't do shit. When in reality, maybe that game you didn't even go to that move. You did not use that move. You didn't use a counter to it. Go back to the drawing board, but also always have those bulleted points of the things that help you win, that you know has helped you win over time, that has a proven track record of helping you. And this could be super simple, bro. Super simple. Waking up on time, eating this breakfast, getting out in nature for X amount of time. If that helps you in your career path and it's been proven over time, even though it's minuscule, very minuscule, and maybe even your victories upon that are very minuscule, keep it in the bag, bro. Why the fuck you trying to go against it? Why are you gonna forget about it too? When things get hard, you have to always revert back to your bread and butter. Even with fighters, You can have all the combos in the world, bro. Left, right, blah, 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 blah. You know, all that shit, man. Uppercuts, hooks, all that shit. But when it's time to go in the ring, I've heard from a lot of my friends who do fight, you revert back to your base instincts and your bread and butter. So you better make sure that that stuff is polished. That stuff you can always go back to it and you can rely on it. Maybe it won't help you win the fight that moment, but it'll help you keep momentum, stay with it, and understand what are the new aspects you got to go back to. What are the new things that you got to add into the bag? So overall what I'm saying is just don't go crazy and go overboard when it comes to being so hard on yourself when you do lose, because all these L's are lessons. They're not losses at the end of the day. It's your perspective that paints the picture. Your perspective can either make that a loss, a failure, or you can use it as a lesson for later on down the line. So when the situation comes about again, you know what to get at. You know what to do. You know, you've seen this before. It's deja vu. You can rewind the tape and pull out the lessons you learned from that last time, and it'll work in the current moment, in the current situation that you're in. But like I said, if you get too crazy with it, you're not going to see those lessons. You're not going to go see those potential opportunities you can use to grow. You're just going to see it as a failure, and you're going to see yourself as a failure, and your identity really shapes and creates the type of results that you get from life. If you think that you're a loser, if you think that you're a failure, if you think that this ain't gonna work, if you think that you have a proven track record, that you just don't believe in yourself, go check out my video on What the Fulati, about how believing is the first step to achieving. To get more of this point after this video, of course, finish through. But all that stuff is just gonna further kind of lay down a blockade, a barrier, psychological barrier that you need to jump over to get over that hurdle to eventually start winning. Because if you don't, bro, you're always going to be facing that wall, and it's only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. You're essentially building bricks, but in the opposite way. Instead of building bricks for your castle, you're building bricks for your prison. God damn. If it ain't the realest shit you ever heard, man, you a fucking liar. You're a fucking liar. But yeah, man, like I'm saying, a lot of us on this path of self-improvement, self-mastery, just becoming the best version of ourselves in all aspects of our lives, can get really hard on ourselves. And when you get really hard on yourself, you kind of lose the joy, the understanding that this is a game. You got to play it like a game. You got to have a playful attitude with life. All the biggest geniuses in the world, all the biggest sports stars, all the biggest innovators, all that stuff understood this idea of having a playful attitude with life. If you take it so seriously, you're never gonna come out of this thing alive, bro. At the end of the day, you're just like, calm down. Like, don't get so wrapped up in the point where you just completely freeze up and forget that all this stuff really is temporary. It ain't permanent. Your losses ain't gonna last for the rest of your life. You can make it last for the rest of your life by having that type of perspective, because like I said, it paints a picture of your reality. But you know, you're watching this video and you understand that you can flip the script real easy. You can flip the script real easy by just tuning in your mindset to a different station. And that station is What the Fulati, man. Because I'm out here in the field, in the flesh, dropping y'all that game so you guys can make these gains. And I'm out here. Peace.